Hello, it's the last episode in this inventory series. I'm not really going to be going through much code. Nothing has really changed too much since the last episode, and this will be the final one. More than anything, I would like to go through a lot of the mistakes that I've made and what I've learned, and what I'm going to do to fix those mistakes, which fundamentally I'm going to start this project completely again from fresh. Because the mistakes are that huge. It works, it's functional, but there's problems I'm running into now. I'm trying to expand on that. So I'll show you those problems now. So first of all, we've got these issues. So number one, I need to replace all references in every blueprint to the third person character. I've been setting, which is stupid. I kind of knew it was wrong at the time, but for laziness, I suppose, or inexperience, I've done it anyway. So within a lot of my other blueprints, I've got a third person character type variable, which I set to self through various means. So here I create the inventory widget, I pull out its player variable, and I plug myself into it. So that inventory now knows who the player is, who owns this inventory. The issue I've got with this is this inventory really needs to be interacting with other inventories. So, for instance, if I want to put something in a chest, in a container, that's great. I can probably sort out a way of doing that with this current setup, but ideally, I'd like to be able to just put an inventory in the container, just like I've got an inventory in the player. Well, to do that, I've got to go through and change every reference in my inventory widget to the player. Because it won't be referencing the player anymore, it's going to be referencing a container. So this needs to change to either a generic actor reference, so any actor can be saved within there, or just use an interface. Then it doesn't matter what we're using, where we've got this inventory. And these inventories are going to be multiple different things, so it can be like containers, it can be vehicles, for instance. Other NPCs and enemies can have an inventory, so that's why I need to change this variable, and it's all over the place. It's not just within my inventory, it's in my master weapons as well. There it is. It's in every interactable object. So I couldn't give one of these weapons, which shoot really well. They produce some really interesting projectiles and everything, and they're aiming. I couldn't give one to an enemy and trigger a way of shooting it, because the enemy won't be able to set this variable at all. So yeah, everything I've created can only be used by the third person player, and I'd have to create everything again for everything else. And because I'm working on my own lone developer, I really want to make everything as simple as possible and make everything reusable in every way I can. So that's my first issue I need to fix. Next is start adding code to the player controller. My player controller is completely empty. All code, everything is in here, and it's like I haven't done a lot. I can pick up items, I can put them in inventory, I can equip them to my body, and that's it really. And there's a lot going on in here already. So I regularly get lost trying to find various things. So this is mainly about neat and tidy blueprints, and keeping everything accessible and readable. And although I've got comment boxes everywhere, I haven't really achieved that. So, and also the player controller will be persistent no matter what pawn I'm controlling. So if I get in a vehicle, now the pawn I'm controlling is now that vehicle. So I'd have to rewrite every bit of code again for that vehicle. If the vehicle's got a gun and I press left mouse button to shoot it, well, the left mouse button actions are in this at the moment. They're not in my controller, so I'd have to start again with that whole input and interaction. Create actor components for the inventory so it's reusable for containers. So going back to me wanting to just throw an inventory within a chest so I can interact with that and put things in the chest, I'm going to set the inventory as a component. So I will be able to add this component to any actor, and it will have an inventory. It will know how to use it, just to create a completely modular system there. And when it comes to using the weapons, I'm going to use components as well for that. So you can create components on runtime. So if I pick up a weapon, I'll add child actor components somewhere along to it, put a tag on there, so I've got a reference to it in some way. And when I drop that weapon or unequip it, you can also destroy actor components during runtime. So I think that's where I'm going to go with equipping items. That's an easy way to do it for other things as well, for enemies and NPCs. So they've got a reference to it. But currently, it's not a terrible system. Currently, I am setting a variable for equipped weapon, and it's a master weapon variable. It's not a terrible way of doing it, but I'd have to go into every enemy and make sure they've got the equipped weapon variable and set that. And if I just add it as a component, and I can say when the enemy's attacking, it will just send a message to that component, then that's, I think, a much better way of doing it. So yeah, there's my mistakes, my issues. I think I've achieved a lot. I've learned a lot, and I've learned how to not do things, more importantly. So I'm probably going to be starting this again and doing things the right way, making a completely modular plug and play system that will work with every actor in my game. So thanks for following along, and I'll see you soon with a better version of this. Bye.